Hello, and this is the Advice Nut, the Advice Nut at live.com, the Advice Nut at live.com. Let's get to our first email. I am the most insecure person you've ever met. I can't go anywhere without feeling like I'm being watched or judged. On top of all this, I never have anything to talk about, partly because, for one, I have social anxiety, and two, I legitimately don't have anything to talk about, making me a boring person without a sense of humor. I've been going to therapy, but it doesn't seem to be helping. I've been unemployed since July, when I broke up with my first real girlfriend, and have been dwelling on that ever since. She helped me so much. The feeling of having someone to turn to and who really loved me for who I was for once in my life was great, but I messed things up. For some reason, whenever I make eye contact with anyone during a conversation, my brain goes into la-la land and I feel really uncomfortable. I can't use body language or incorporate facial expressions into conversation because of this. Doing simple things, everyday tasks such as going to the mall by myself or waiting in line for something makes me feel so uncomfortable. It seems like I always dwell on the negative things that happen in my life, and that clouds my mind and makes it easy to forget anything positive. Sure, I have friends and they're very competitive, and sometimes we rip on each other, but that leaves me defenseless, and even though it may be directed as a joke, I always dwell on it. They are a very outgoing group of people, and I often look up to them and ask myself, what are they doing different than me? But I just can't figure it out. Some days, which are very rare, I might add, I feel fine, and somehow it just feels like a switch in my brain turned on. You would figure I'd be happy about this, but it actually depresses me because I know it will only last a day or two. I always try to figure out what I did differently on those days, but again, I have no idea. Whenever I'm hanging out with someone one-on-one, every word that comes out of my mouth is judged by myself. Most of the time, I'm my biggest critic. If someone pulls up next to me at a red light, I start feeling very uncomfortable. Even smiling at people is near impossible for me. This has created so many roadblocks in my life. I can't go to school because I will literally puke at the thought of being in a class full of people, and it makes me such a homebody. Occasionally I do go out, but it turns out bad, like on New Year's. I asked a female friend of mine what the best part of her vacation was like, and she gave me the weirdest look and asked how she's supposed to answer a question like that. I'm not going to lie. Lately I've been thinking that I can never be better. I take 5 steps forward and 10 steps back. I just want to be able to go out and care about what other people think and live a normal life. Well, here comes the dark part of this. For the past week, while I've been feeling like just ending it all, I don't know if I have the guts to. The whole therapy thing is just not working. I feel like I cannot connect to anyone and don't know how to fix it. I often wake up in the morning and ask myself why I'm still here. Number one, you're here for a reason. Number two, you haven't killed yourself, so subconsciously you may know you're here for a reason, you just don't know why. But let me say this much. Your entire letter is full of negativity. And that has something to do with why your friends are so outgoing, because they don't dwell on the negative. And it's a little different for me to believe that you have these friends who are so outgoing and you are not. That's a little hard to believe, and you haven't picked up on it. But first of all, you need to get all that negativity out. Therapy isn't going to work for you if you don't want it to work. And if you continue with this mindset, nothing's going to work for you. And I don't really think you want something to work for you. I think you are in a rut. That's what I really believe. I believe you are in a rut. People can get into a rut, and it's not normal for them to feel good. It's normal for them. They feel better when they feel bad, believe it or not. There are people like that, and it sounds like you're one of them. Look, all I can tell you is if therapy isn't work, I don't recommend medication, but I recommend that you take some steps. And I don't want to hear this. I take 10 steps. I take 5 steps ahead and move 10 steps back. That's just pure negativity. And if you don't start changing some stuff in your thinking, then you're going to remain the way you are. I mean, yeah, that's what this letter sounds like. You're just in a rut, and I think you like being in that rut right now. And no one or nothing can help you until you're willing to help yourself. And I don't think you're ready yet. I don't think you're willing and able. I think you like this rut you're in. So when you're ready to get out of it, you'll get out of it. Let's get to our next email. It has been a rumor that my best friend is a lesbian, or at least bisexual. So after years of hearing the rumors, I asked her, is she bi? And she said no. And I just told her if she was, I wouldn't care and I would still love her. Then I Googled her MSN name and found a webpage with her calling herself a femi and saying she was a lesbian. Why would she lie to me about this? I guess she didn't technically, since I asked her if she was bi, but she still lied to me, and that hurts. We've been friends for 10 years, and she was so hard on my ex for having lied to me about being married, but she was keeping her own secret from me. Maybe not as devastating, but still a lie of omission. How do I approach this with her, and am I right to feel hurt? She pretends that she's been seeing men, and that's obviously a charade. So why all of the acting when I will support her no matter what? My ex says I can't be hard on people and that she's afraid of me judging her. If so, what are some ways I could be more understanding? Well, it sounds to me that may be why your friend lied to you, because you may be judgmental, and maybe she just doesn't want to hear about it. How can you be more understanding? Put forth some effort to be understanding. But your friend lied to you for a reason, and it's obvious you did not believe her, because you Googled her name and found out otherwise. And if she is bisexual, she is dating men and women. That's what bisexual is. She dealing with both. So I don't think I would make a big deal out of it. So what if she's a lesbian? If she's a lesbian and it really doesn't matter to you, or bisexual and it doesn't matter to you, then why is it a big deal? Yeah, she may have lied, but she didn't lie about anything that's a big deal. I'm not condoning lying, but people do lie. So basically, sweetheart, you need to just get over it. This is The Advice Nut. The Advice Nut at live.com. The Advice Nut at live.com. You can also contact me on my website, theadvicenut.tripod.com. Until next time.